Okay, an episode about my yarn no by year, and of course, I have boundaries and regulations, and within these boundaries, I have bought yarn. So hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my very small place on the internet where I talk about my knitting life and my different knitting projects. This is one of them. It's my yarn no by year, and as I know a lot of new people have come recently, I'm gonna link down below the playlist I had made the first year I started my yarn no by year. It was during the year 2022, after I went overboard at the end of 2021, buying and buying and buying and buying a lot of yarn. To make it short, it did work. All of my guidelines and regulations that I had set up for myself worked, and I went overboard buying patterns. So last year, what I decided and I started to be doing is that I would allow myself to buy a certain amount of patterns and only buy patterns on the spot when I was ready to cast on. To make myself into that project without suffering too much or missing out too much, I had created a bundle where I was putting all of the patterns that I wanted to be buying, because I did buy for over 200 euros of digital patterns, and very little of them I have knit thus far. So this is taking place in my Ravelry library, on my computer, on the internet. It's making the ice pool melt, and there is no reason to buy all of these patterns just in case, or just because that one creator is having a birthday or a special offer and I want to support them and I buy. Okay, that's a good reason. The other good reason is sometimes patterns disappear from the internet. Yes, that's true. But in a way, why accumulate so much? And this is the main question of this project, of this yarn no by year project that I expanded and extended to patterns. Because why accumulate? It's that the central question I have for myself, and I have not yet been through that. And I have not yet answered that question. So this is a very long introduction to tell you that today I'm going to be checking for the month of May 2024 what I've been doing this month. I have bought some yarn, as I've said already. I have bought needles and a couple of the things that are not really knitting related that I may talk about because you may be interested into that. And so I'm going to be talking about the shawl I'm wearing just next. So what am I wearing? I am wearing my Magic Dot by Intermstein that I made in 2022. I made it in 8 days. This yarn was a present from my second son. He was at a conference in Cardiff, I think, for his PhD. And he has graduated since then from his PhD. And he was there, and I said, okay, is there a yarn shop? And go get me some yarn. So he got me some yarn for my birthday, basically. And this is not such... I'm not sure I would recommend that yarn that much. It's Mariner yarn, and I'm going to be checking because I think this yarn has stopped and it's not distributed any longer. Anyway, it's Mariner yarn. He bought 2 skeins of the gray and 1 of the blue, 1 red and 1 yellow, and I've already made other accessories with the red and the yellow. Little caul for the red and mittens for the yellow. And this little shawl I wear a lot. So it's a very simple, small triangular shawl, a smaller size shawl, and I don't like much true triangular shawls that are very deep, and I prefer the smallest ones. I may take it out because we are quite late during the day. I'm back from work. I'm just back from work, and I will have a very heavy week. So I'm not sure I will have enough time to record. We are on a Monday evening to record the next days so that I can have a video up for next Friday. And Ramses was on the table and he jumped. So the sun is still here. It's a bit warm, so I may take it out. I may remove it. I love this shawl. It's the one that I'm wearing during spring, during fall, when the days are a little warm, but not that warm that in the morning I can go out and be bare and be naked on my neck. I'm very cold on the neck, on the front and the back of the neck. Always. So I always wear shawls or scarves or stuff like that. And this one is the perfect size, the perfect weight, and I really love this little detail. I highly recommend Internstein's patterns. They are very well written. I love them. And as I was saying, I'm wearing new earrings. These are leather earrings. I went to a fair or an arts and crafts event that was at one of the main city halls. It's an old convent, and that has been completely renovated and now is used for the bigger Normandy area. And they host some kind of events once in a while there. It's a beautiful place. I may have placed pictures at the beginning of the video, and maybe I've shot a couple more pictures, and I have a video also that I made there. So I may place it at the end of the video, because if you're not interested, you're not gonna go, and you can skip that altogether. And these little leather earrings I love a lot, and the lady in the Pyrenees who makes all of my bracelets, she doesn't make anything else. She makes belts and bracelets. She doesn't make earrings, and this one are just kind of Japanese looking. I really love them. They are quite funny. Okay, my checking for the month of May 2024, and I'm not gonna make the story again. I've talked about why I'm making this project, and you will have all the blog posts, and you will have also all the videos where I explain myself in details. So I have a spreadsheet where I keep my different buys, and on May 1st, 2024, I bought a set of DPNs, of Chiagu DPNs, and I bought them online with a crochet hook, a small size crochet hook, because I just have a bigger one, and when I want to catch up drop stitches or stuff like that, the bigger crochet hook is too big. I already had bought a needle set, an interchangeable needle set from Chiagu last year as a success present for my Yarn No Buy year. And the DPNs, you see there is one that is still in use, are of the smallest size range, and they are 15 centimeter length. So it's not very long DPNs, and this hook is a clover hook, and this one is 2.5 millimeters, because I was missing sort of a smaller crochet hook. And what people were saying is that these little hooks are much better. Where are you? Where are you? These little hooks are much better than any other ones, so that they can catch the yarn very, very efficiently and keep it there. So this is why I took the Clover brand. Also, people say that the handle is nice. So, okay. no particular reason for that, but I really did want the needle set, a DPN needle set. I'm not a magic looper. I'm not a magic looper. As much as I want to be one, I'm not one. And with the little pouch comes stitch markers and some gauge measuring for your needle sizes. So I paid for everything 50, let me retrieve what I've paid for that. Yes, 65 euros and 92 cents for both of them. So it was about over 10 euros for the crochet hook. So you see I had 50 something for the DPN sets, and I was not that far off. The next thing I bought, and it was a couple days later, it was on May 4th, there was some kind of a little open market for arts and crafts creators, and I bought a couple things there. I went there to see one lady in particular for some fabric and stuff like that, and I wanted to be talking with her because she's from my area and I follow her on the social networks, and I wanted to meet with her because she doesn't have a shop. She just goes to these kind of events, and there was one, not one that had caught my attention, and this one did. So I went there, and the weather was not too bad. And when I was there, I discovered another lady. She makes laine sous les pommiers, yarn from under the apple tree. And you know that apple tree is the symbol of Normandy. And this is her classical yarn. She doesn't dye. She doesn't dye yarn. So you need that with 3 to 4 millimeter needles. And it's 250 meters per 100 grams. So I will write the US equivalent for that. So it's made in Normandy, of course. The Rugna filature, where Fonty is the one that makes the yarn after she gives them, she sends them to them. She sends the yarn to them. And this yarn is made with 100% sheep from, which is of the Avranchin breed, and this is one of the breeds that are from Cotentin. You've heard me talk about Laine West and their yarn. This is a single breed of these sheep, the Avranchin sheep from Cotentin. This medium color, she had a natural white, creamy white. She has a chocolate type of color, very deep brown that I was quite interested into, but I could not buy all the things. And this one is a medium brown that has some pinkish type of hues. This brown is a warm, I would say a warm milk chocolate type of color with a bit of strawberry in it. It's really, really particular. It's extremely soft. It has nothing to do with the yarn from the ladies from Laine West, and I have had a project with them. This yarn is extremely soft and plump. I have 4 balls. This is all that she had. It's a 3 ply. This is all that she had. And I have a plan to contact her. I will leave all of her details down below because you may be interested to, if you ever visit Normandy or if you are in the area, to go and visit her. She is absolutely fantastic. Talking with her was a pure delight. I spent an hour with her, or even more than an hour with her. And I have a plan to go visit her this summer because, you know, I can't drive any longer, or not for long period of time or long distances. So I have this project to go see her this summer and get more of her yarn, because I won't be able to go to the Pyrenees or Poitou to get some mohair, and there is another mohair farm in the area, so I will go there this summer. I need to contact her so that we can set up for a day she's gonna be there. And she said she's allow me to visit her flock and her farm, and she is very involved into all of these conservation of the breed and reviving of the breed. And I have to say I was so surprised about the softness of the yarn. And as these sheep stay outside most of the year, most of the time, unless it's unbearable for them, the yarn is not as dry as the ones from Lenal West. But she said it's also, it keeps moisture away. It's moisture repellent. And for my Normandy weather, it's a very, very big advantage. So the sun is playing with us, and it's at the end of the day, so the sun may be gone, maybe for good. So far for this month, so I spent 58 euros for the 4 balls of the Laine sous les pommiers yarn. So that's 123 euros and 92 cents for the month of May. The grand total so far for the year is 348 euros and 92 cents for the first 5 months of the year. So it's 69 euros and 78 cents per month. And it's thus far way below what I have been spending the last previous 2 years since I have started this project. And I think my own regulation so far is working for me. As far as yarn, I have said I have allowed myself with the quotes, because of course I can do whatever I want, and I have allowed myself to buy 3 sweaters quantity this year. So 4 balls is not a sweater quantity, and I'll see if I can when I go see her, if she has more of that. She said she did not have any left of this bath. I'm not sure they are bath, but of this batch. And I will bring one of the balls and see if she has more that can go with it, or maybe in the very deep chocolate brown color or the creamy white one, so that I can do some color work with it, because this is not a sweater quantity. Oh, peluche is on the table now. And so maybe there is enough for a slipover or a vest. So I'll see if the grand total for the year, I usually buy 10 balls, depending on the yarn weight, of course, for a sweater, because I don't like to be missing out. I don't like to play yarn chicken. And I like to have some leftovers to do other things. So we'll see if I'm in the 3 times 10 balls or sweater quantities. We'll see after the summer what happens and what I'm going to be doing this summer. Okay, next I'm gonna go through my Ravelry bundle, where I place all of the patterns that I want to buy beforehand, before I buy them. I don't buy them, and I don't allow, with the quotes, myself to buy digital patterns unless I'm ready to cast on. This is what I did with my current work in progress, my previous cast on. It was the Gallant that I bought and that I casted on the same day. As long as I'm not ready to cast on, I don't allow myself buying the patterns, because otherwise they are going to be staying there and I may never cast them on. So this is the way I manage my desire and my need to buy. And one of the things is that I was buying the patterns because I did not want to lose them. Ravelry is a big hole. There are hundreds of thousands of patterns there, and they can easily get lost. And for 2 years now, it's been working for me. Placing them in this bundle where I can go through, I can retrieve them, I can say, I don't even recall why they are there, and I just remove them from the bundle, keep them in my favorites because these patterns I like, or they are there because I have a special project in mind, or I want to choose between several patterns and stuff. And finally, I do cast on one pattern and all the other ones can go back into the bulk of my favorites on Ravelry. So far, this is fulfilling my needs because last year I just bought one digital pattern. I have a special place for the books. I'm going to be allowing myself to be buying 5 books, I think I said this year. So far I've bought one. And I have a special place for books because one, there are no such thing as too many books. I love books. I browse through all my books, even if I don't cast on very often from them. There are interesting food for my thoughts and for my brain and for all of my thinking around my knitting or my future knitting. I love the smell of the book. I like touching them. I like having them close to me. So 5 books for this year, it's okay, but no digital pattern unless I am ready to cast on. So I am going to go with you through my bundle that I've started to make at the beginning of this year 2024, and it's called Want to Make 2024. There are 26 items currently there, and I still kept my bundle I made from last year. There are 49 items there because there are still patterns that I like, and from time to time I go through there and maybe pick or get inspiration from what I wanted to knit last year. For example, you see the little thumbnail of the bubble scarf. This is where I had put it last year. Maybe I should remove them, or maybe I decided to keep them there for memory. I'm not quite sure. So let's go through the bundle I've been starting to fill since January this year. So 26 items, and the top one are the latest ones that I have added. And there are several reasons for me to have added these patterns. And if I'm going through at a glance like that on the surface, I know, for example, I've added that little top, the miso Marcon sleeveless top, which is a free top, because I wanted to be able to be wearing a top under my dusking sweater that would show my skin under the little opening of the keyhole that is at the back of the sweater. I have since then bought a dress, so what I am going to be doing is removing that top from the bundle. Here. Because now that I have a dress, maybe one day I will want to be making and knitting a sleeveless top, which is not much of what I like to wear because I don't like to show my shoulders and my arms, and also because I am very sun sensitive, and showing up so much of my skin is quite complicated for me for now. So you see, I have removed that one, and if I go through, I think the Sunday morning hat I had placed there because one of my sons wanted a hat, and I had placed it there because it was in the list of what I had offered him to be choosing from. He chose another one, so I'm going to be removing it too from the bundle because there are not really many reasons for me now to keep it there. So I think it's fine. Now we can go through the bundle depending on which kind of item this is. I'm gonna skip the Gallant sweater because I've already casted it on, and it was there because I was kind of wondering which pattern was I going to be making with the blue Nutiden and mohair that one of you gave me when you visited, and it's the mohair Gallant that I've already casted on, so this one is here to stay. Alary is also here to stay. I should go next week to Lena West, and I have asked them to make and dye a very deep purple sports weight yarn. It's a bulky weight here, 14 stitches, but so I will have to decide whether I buy the fingering in the same colorway, the very deep aubergine, deep purple colorway, the fingering that I will held double, or I will buy the sports weight and will work my way through calculations to adjust for the difference in my gauge, because I guess with that yarn I have to check. I'm about 17 stitches, so for 14 stitches that's kind of a big difference. But you see there is a large size range that is available, so I know I can work my calculations through that pattern and make the Alary by Paula Pereira, the Alary sweater with the yarn that I will buy at Lena West next Saturday. So these are the two ones I'm gonna be for sure keeping there. Dragonnier is also there to stay because Dragonnier is a free pattern now by Marie-Amélie Designs. She's made all of the patterns for free when she stopped designing. And Dragonnier, I also have the yarn that I want to be knitting this pattern with. And this yarn was a gift by Margot Chien last year, at the beginning of this year. And it's a very deep purple and also a green one. So I'm gonna make this pattern with it, and I think I can work out the gauge too, even though my gauge might be very different. So if we look at cardigans and sweaters, I'm gonna open Big Love because Big Love is linked to the Rebel cardigan. So both of them are by Anne Strick. And I have been eyeing this cardigan since it came out. And I have some yarn that I may be able to be using it with because it's sports and lace, so it's worsted, and I have a lot of worsted yarn. I love very much what the top of the cardigan is looking as. I love this line at the shoulders, the fact that you pick up your stitches to start to be knitting the front and then to start knitting the sleeves. And I also like and love this line here in the front that without any buttons, and that lays very, very, and is very elegant. So I was talking about that pattern with one of you, and you said you had knit Big Love by Anne Strick also, and that was one of your favorite cardigans. And so Big Love is in Aran weight, so it's quite a different gauge, and I may have to be looking about my gauge with the yarn I'm thinking of. And you are recommending Big Love, same idea, so that's a shawl type of caul without buttons. And also, so it's at a much smaller gauge, it's a much bigger yarn, but I like the color. I'm not sure we have something, yes, it's kind of the same back construction, and also for the satin sleeves and the high collar in the back so that you are not cold in your back, and also very, very simple line with no buttons. So I will decide which one I'm making between the two of them, Big Love or Rebel, depending on the yarn I'm going to be choosing to be making it with. On the same train of thoughts, I'm looking for space-time. Yes, here you are. So space-time, I was really hesitating between space-time and Gallant to knit the sweater with the Nutiden and mohair. So I asked you and you voted and you said Gallant, even though I was almost already decided for Gallant. And so there was no vote because I did not want you to be sorry that I would make a cast on a vote and decide something else. But most of the advices were towards Gallant. It remains, what's left of that is that I still love space-time. So I've kept it there. It's a DK 22 stitches. I also have lots of yarn in my stash that can be used for this sweater. And as Gallant, I love the very simple line. I love the very simple color, even though there are two options and you can have a ribbed color or a very simple one. In some of the sample or what people have made, they used variegated yarns, and there are some tricks now to be knitting the both sleeves about the same with variegated yarn. Very, very nice tricks. And you have here the back of the sweater with a very simple color. And I love that one. So this one is going to be staying too. There are several other sweaters that I will most probably will be staying, that were there for some different reasons, and I'm going to be opening them on another tab. I'm going to skip also reduplicate, because reduplicate I will also knit with the purple possum yarn that Rosemary sent me, so this one there's no question, I'm going to keep it there. And I think these are all of the sweaters. Faceted top for faceted yoke. It's a pattern by Pearl Soho, and it's in my library. I guess there was an offer at some point to get it for free, because now it's not free any longer. And I really love the front and the back of the sweater. The ripped front and the back are really one of a kind, and the increases of either side of this central piece with a little pointy end into the ripped part. The very simple color, I'm not sure this is just I-cord or something like that. Yes, it looks like an I-cord. The very, very simple color, the very simple also other edges. Let me see how I go back from there. Yeah. The very simple edges, the long ribbings. I really love that. So I think this sweater is here to stay. It's DK weight, 21 stitches. So I'm not, maybe I'm going to say it at every time, but I have a lot of yarn for that type of sweater. Sarah by Retro Brockman is also a Pet 4 pattern. I'm sure I had already a code for that, because I haven't bought any pattern in a long while, except it for Gallant, of course, that I just casted on. So this one is for DK and 22 stitches. I really liked the textured and the pattern. I think I got it just to have a look at the stitched pattern. Can we have a better close-up, for example, here? One thing, and you do you, as I say, I don't like drop sleeves. I have knit one sweater with drop sleeves, and this sweater has grown so much from the shoulder. It's not, I can't wear it any longer. I wear it at home, of course, but also the yarn was not of a good quality, so it's peeling like crazy. But the fact that it has elongated so much on the shoulder part here, because there is just one stitch there to hold all of the sweater, the sleeve, the front and the back, that it's stretched out so much. I don't like that. So I'm not sure I would be making a sweater with drop sleeves ever again, says the one that who maybe will cast one on at some point. I don't know. But I got the pattern for the stitch pattern here that I liked very much. So I'm going to keep it there for now. So Twisted Vine by Joan Forgione. So also I guess I also had a code for that pattern. I got it because of the saddle shoulders. And I've knit a sweater very recently, the Hautfield sweater by Drops, and was part of a project with Lena West from Cotentin. And I loved knitting the saddle shoulders. It fits me very well. I think it's very elegant. And this one with the pattern on the shoulder and on the side of the sleeve is really, really interesting. The rest of the body, if I recall correctly, is just plain stockinette. And I like that one. So this one is here to stay too. And Maya, that I have in a pom-pom book, I am debating over Maya and Dragonnier to be knitting with the yarn that I have from Margot Chien. So we'll see. I'm sure, so this one has drop sleeves, but I won't have enough to make long sleeves. So these, if I need this one, it's most probably going to be a very short sleeve sweater. If I want to make all the color work with the yarn that I have, I think I have only 2 skeins of one color and 3 of the other ones, something like that. But globally, from what the yarn says, the decay weight and 20 stitches should work. And I'm not sure which one of these two I'm going to be making. So Maya is going to be staying there too. Baba by Anne Strict, I added there because of the neckline, not because of the little stripes. I'm not sure I like the stripes. I have chosen the gallant sweater, so you see I am going to remove Baba sweater not from my favorites. I still can retrieve it from my favorites, but I'm also going to remove it from the bundle, the one to make. And the Renaissance sweater, I've added that one quite recently. It's been published in February, so it's not an older, it's mostly a recent pattern. It's made with fingering. I have lots of yarn that could fit that bill, 25 stitches, mostly my Holzgarn yarn. And even though this is not much of my style, this very intricate color work is not much of my style. And you see some people have it. This sample is going, so sorry, I had not said, it's Eleanor Mortensen who did the pattern. This sample, this one, the color work is going quite low on the sleeves and on the body. You see here it's a much shorter color work here, so maybe you can adjust for the length of the color work. I have to say I like it when it's full length, whether it's full length or not full length, but I really love the larger motif, and I think this one in black and white by Prolific Knitter is really beautiful. Even though I am not at all, it is not my style of this very intricate color work, I love this one. So this one is going to be staying. Now I'm going to be having a look at all the accessories that I have there. There are socks, there is a shawl and a poncho or shrug, there is a hat. I've removed the Sunday morning one, mittens, and some kind of a coat. So for the socks, the Droid socks by Marie-Élise Dugal, these are quite recent, May 2024, and it's fingering and 8 stitches per 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch. And why did I put the socks, these particular socks, on my bundle is because I love this little pattern. I think I'm not necessarily going to be making her own type of ribbing. This is a heel flap and gusset, and I have my own recipe that I've been building up, knitting my first socks for my sons. And I like, so I can go with that recipe. But I like very much that little motif. So maybe with the leftovers yarn from my son's socks, I will knit a pair for myself, and I can venture into pattern and stitch motif socks with that pattern and the leftover yarn. The Shorty Heel Tab Socks by Larissa Grigorin, or Grigorin, maybe Larissa Grigorin, I discovered that pattern thanks to Kelly from Knits and Pieces, because she's been knitting several pairs of these shorties, and because she really liked the little flap at the end at the back of the sock. And so this is a free pattern. Also, the other one was also a free pattern. And I'm going to be also trying shorty socks for myself with the leftover yarn from my sons. And my youngest son has asked for shorty socks too. So these are the two patterns they will stay here because I really want to make at least one pair of such a different type of socks. One with a stitch motif, one with a shorty sock. So, okay, this one stay. And the Maria hat goes with the Maria shawl. And these ones, I talked about them in my community tab. They are free and they are going to be remaining free as far as I know. I just was mesmerized by the stitched pattern here and the combination of the hat and the shawl. You have the stitch motif on the side of the hat that you can retrieve on the shawl. I haven't been looking all that well through everything, but can you imagine a free pattern with such an intricate stitch motif? It's a big triangular shawl, not of my favorite, but I prefer a triangular with the tip of the shawl. So you start on the left here and you increase on one side to get to the end of the shawl is here. I prefer that than a pure triangular shawl. And the beanie here with a stitch motif that kind of recall part of the shawl, that's the biggest motif here, and something that is close to what you have on the shawl. I'm going to keep these two ones here because I think they are just extremely nice stitch patterns that you can be using elsewhere too, because I've been thinking maybe to use also that little motif that I know how to make. It's not something that is just new. On a sock maybe, so that to get some inspiration. So, but I think at some point I will make the shawl. It's decay. It's a bit 24 stitches. So decay 24 stitches on 3 and 5.5 millimeter needles. I'm not sure. Decay is a bit heavy for me for a shawl, but we'll see. And a triangular shawl, you can use any yarn at any gauge. It's just going to be smaller or bigger. So you can get the needle size and the yarn that you like for the fabric that you like, and then use the patterns, the two different stitch motifs. This shrug by Pearl Soho, I've had this pattern for quite a while too. It's from February, and I love the shoulders. Once again, I'm going to be quite repetitive. I love this kind of shoulders here, where you have the motif that continues in the front and on the side quite seamlessly from the shoulder, and it kind of resembles a saddle shoulder. I think it's very, very elegant. So you have here the whole shrug, the whole poncho, whatever. It's DK 28 stitches and 4mm needles. So I guess that's, once again, there are several sizes. And once again, you can use your own yarn with the fabric you like and use the pattern to make the shawl the same way they are offering. So this one is here to stay. The fingerless gloves, I don't know. I placed them here. My second son wants gloves to go with his now hat and scarf that I made for him. Worsted 22 stitches. This is why I selected them. Symmetrical Stag Figureless Gloves by Alice Furness. They are quite funny. I'm not sure he likes them. He said he doesn't know. So I'm keeping the pattern here. I like it too. So maybe one day I may be casting these ones on for myself. And you see, you can have a contrasting finishing up, and I guess also at the bottom of the cuffs for the top of the mitten, the thumb, and the cuff. So yes, I'm gonna keep it for now. This one is paid for. I think I had a code to get it for free. Flying Solo, another call by Espace Tricot that is still free. You know, they've changed their settings for their patterns, and they said all the graded patterns were going to be paid for now. And so this call is only one size, so it's still free, and it will remain for free at least until they change it again. And what I like a lot is a call that is quite high on your neck. And maybe I would make it even higher so that you can place it over your head, but also that has this type of finishing where you have a front and a back. So I guess there is a name for that. Maybe it's going to come back to myself. There is a name for that. But what is very important here is that you won't add any bulk under a coat over your sleeves, and you still be warm in front and back, and you can make a very long back and a very long front as long as you want, and a very long coat as long as you want to be covering you up. So here they are using kind of an ombre, or they are changing colors, I think, between the light gray, the light beige, and the lighter gray. They are mixing in the middle, and same thing between the lighter gray and the darker gray. They are mixing the two yarns in the middle. So it's two fingering held together, 27 stitches, and you go from one color to the other with an intermediate color when you mix both of them. So it's a very simple pattern, a very, very efficient one, I think. And I am yet to be making one of these because, yeah, you know, there are so many things that I'm interested in, but this one is free, will remain free for now. And it's kind of a very, very practical pattern too. And the Bee Scarf by Marina Morozova. This is one of these little scarves that you have been seeing everywhere. And this little scarf, you see it knitted with 3 different yarns, I think, if I recall correctly what I've seen. Or maybe there are different sizes. It doesn't say if there are different sizes, but as long as I recall, I've read the pattern. I think it's made with different yarns that give you different sizes of scarves, of course. And there is one with a changing color yarn. And I like the little motif here on the scarf very much. I like the little cables. And I've kept them here because I think with some leftovers and for my little Machi Cal knit along, I think this kind of pattern is absolutely perfect. You can make it small, the same way all the other little scarves you can see everywhere. You can make it a little bigger, and it's just once again a very, very practical pattern. I wear my little scarves all winter long, and I also wear them during the transition seasons that kind of are very, very, very long. Our spring is so undecided for now. So this is one pattern that I know if I make it, I'm gonna be wearing it a lot. So here you have it. I'm gonna reload my page. So they were, I'm not sure I recall how many I had said last. I will write it down because I forgot the numbers. So I'm reloading my page now. With my new bundle, I have less than what I used to have, and now I have, let's say, 23 items in my Want to Make 2024 bundle. And I hope that kind of process can help you too, not to buy every pattern that you see. Placing them in a bundle, it's sort of like buying them, and once it's there, it's you haven't bought them, of course, but you have them. It's not going back to the big void that is Ravelry with the thousands and hundreds of thousands of patterns that you will never be able to find again. So it's there, it's waiting for you to pick, and I'm trying to keep that bundle manageable as far as the size, so that I can go through and add or remove. And I haven't done so for the bundle for 2023 to remove the ones that I have been already knitting. So I think I've knit Olympe, and I should remove them because they are now in my finished objects. So I will remove it from the bundle. I had not done so yet. And let's see, have I, so Alary, you see, I've moved Alary from last year to this year because I know I want to be making it. I should revisit all of these because some of them I'm not sure why they are there any longer. So which one are the other ones that I have made? You see, Gallant, I already had it last year. And I moved it to this year's. This cardigan, the Dakori cardigan, I really want to be making it too. And let's say that for now, it's okay. I've removed one, so it's just one page now. So for now, I have my two bundles since I've been starting them that are really fulfilling my needs. That means I place the patterns that I want to buy there. I don't buy them, but I don't lose them. And you see, the 48 items that are now in my 23 bundle from last year, Want to Make 2023, some of them I don't even recall why they are there. So my rule now is to buy on the spot when I'm ready to cast on, and not buy and buy and buy patterns that accumulate into my library. And of course, after I stopped recording, after I was going to finishing the recording of the video, I realized there were patterns I had forgotten to be talking about. The first one is a shawl by Stephen West, and the two other ones are a top or vest and a shawl by Pearl Soho. So the Treasure Trove Wrap by Stephen West is a free pattern that is released not long time ago, April 2024 in fingering. And what I liked into this particular shawl is the deep stitch that he is using. You know that I've knit several of the sorrels, the summer sorrel and I've knit 2 of the winter or regular sorrel sweater that is made with fingering and mohair held together, and both of them are with a deep stitch. Not that one, a different one. And I've been thinking for a very long time to be reusing that deep stitch in a hat or in a shawl or something like that, because I really, really like the look of it. So the treasure trove wrap by Stephen West is here just for that stitch that I like. I need to be having a look. It's a different look, and in a way I like it quite as much, because at least it's not going to be that similar to the deep stitch from the sweater. And so I'm keeping that pattern here because of the stitch motif, and of course if I make the shawl, I will use that pattern too. It's a triangular and elongated triangular shawl, and I kind of like this type of shawl. The vest, the next one is the Ribline vest by Pearl Soho, and I don't think I'm going to be keeping it because I'm not sure that bare shoulders with a very large bust like this is gonna be fitting me that much. I really liked it when I first saw it, and I think it's gonna be fitting a slimmer person quite well. So for now, I'm gonna remove it from the bundle. So of course, you will see next, or maybe I have already talked about it, the final result. So it's going to be one pattern less. And I'm also going to be removing the Screensport shawl by Pearl Soho. What I liked a lot, or maybe I'm going to keep it, because you see, I like a lot this little, very simple lace motif, and you have it on part of the shawl and the rest is garter, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like it. It's going to be a very easy shawl. It's a pure triangular shawl, and I don't like that too much. But I think I can make it work to maybe elongate, shorten the deepest part here, shorten it and make it a bit longer on the sides. So you see, this one is still, I'm gonna keep it there and revisit my choice in a couple months when I will revisit the bundle again. I haven't gone through the previous recording, so I may just place it at the end with these two ones. So I've removed one additional pattern from my bundle. Okay, so I've talked about what I've bought. I've talked about my Ravelry bundle. So I guess I'm good for today for my Yarn No by Year checking for the month of May 2024. I'm not sure I have any outtakes for today, but I'll see if I place the outtakes at the end. The end is on this side for you. At the end of the video. And I thank you a lot for being here with me. I hope you manage and you are able to place happy little stitches into your life, because joy and happiness and happy stitches are not coming all by itself. If we don't work on it, it's not coming all by itself. We need to think of it. And placing joy and happiness into our little stitches help us place just joy and happiness into our life. And if you're not able to do it for yourself, do it for other people. Think of other people. And for the little time you will be focusing on that, it's going to be making you a bit more happy. Even if this environment we are currently living in is very strange and can be very, very scary. And I thank you a lot for being here with me. I will be sending you all of my very happy, sparkling little stitches over to you. And I hope I will see you next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top. So you have an I chord. So the sol is still here.